Yo, family, what's good? And welcome back once more to another daily crypto and Kaspa live stream. As we can see from the market chart, blood in the water once again. Bitcoin is down 4.19% on the daily time frame, valued at 89,000, losing that 90k level once again. Kaspa's down to 4.07 cents, down roughly 5.78% on the daily time frame. We are seeing again another instance where we're seeing a hell of a lot of weakness in the market. And of course, the overbearing question now is, are we in a bear cycle? What's going on? What is happening? Why are we correcting? We'll get to all of that in this stream today, alongside some recent news and also one of my institutional premium insights as well that I showed to my VIPs earlier today. I even posted about it a little bit on Twitter as well. We'll go through that as well. Ultimately trying to bring some more logical thinking during an emotional period right now. The long and short of it in regards to the market is the Fed are unsure of how to act right now. They don't know whether to be dovish or hawkish, whether to cut rates or to hold rates. And we have just heard or just received the report, the Fed minutes, which is basically a recap of what happened and what their thought process was on October in their FOMC meeting. And the key takeaway from here is right here, where it says, in discussing the near-term course of monetary policies, participants expressed strongly differing views about what policy decisions would most likely be appropriate at the committee's December meeting. The key part in regards to that is the differing views. It means that there's no overbearing or overarching sentiment that, yes, we need to be cutting rates or we need to be holding strong. They don't know. And is that once more, is that uncertainty that is triggering so much more FUD and ruining investor sentiment. Most participants judged that further downward adjustments to the target range for the federal fund rate would likely be appropriate. And some are saying that we don't necessarily need another 25 basis point rate cut, but some are saying we do actually need one. So again, it's that uncertainty that's not really helped out. And the key factor in all of this, what the Fed are basically saying is, we don't know what we want to do right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that we are going to hold on the sidelines once again and just wait and see. And we're going to wait and see what the incoming data suggests that we should do, which is, I guess, a fair enough approach, quite a logical approach. And that's the issue. And I can see some of you in the chat already highlighting the concern. The concern is the reports the Fed so desperately need, the main ones being inflation and job reports, they are not getting published. We can just see the US labor market has announced that it's cancelling the October job report that's meant to be coming out tomorrow. The crucial unemployment report that lets us know how the economy and how the unemployment rate is in America right now, that is being delayed. For the first time since 2013, we will not be receiving a monthly job report. Now, you could argue the reason for why, like this joking post here is, you can't have a recession if there's no data to confirm it. Now, you could argue whether that's the case or not. But the point being is, the odds of a rate cut now have surged up significantly to 68% after the Labour Department has cancelled the job report. Because if you're flying blind, you've got to do something. You've got to do something to help combat this. And right now, the Fed are flying blind. They haven't got, they had the inflation report got cancelled earlier because it was just so close to after the government shutdown that they didn't release it. And now the job report's been cancelled as well. Reports not coming out. The Fed don't know what to do. Typically in times like these, the Fed have to take the so-called safer approach. And safer approach right now, when we are all very well aware of how fragile the economy is, the logical approach right now to take is to be more dovish. Now, will we get rate cuts in December? We don't know. We don't know. Today's verdict, today's decision from the Labour Department could definitely shift that sentiment towards another rate cut. And if we get that, that could potentially alleviate some pressure from the market. But of course, the lack of data has first and foremost caused FUD in the market. You can see again, Bitcoin down 4.3%, Kaspa down 6%, XRP 8%, Ethereum basically 8%, Ondu 8% almost, Sui 9%. Like, some assets are absolutely tanking today. Some of them are not, namely the gaming assets actually, Ultra, Nakamoto Games and Vulcan Forge, they're actually doing quite well. But pretty much everything right now is collapsing because we have a lack of clarity. Despite this clarity, the lack of clarity actually meaning you might get a more dovish Fed because they have no option, it's the uncertainty. There are three ways to judge a market in regard to how it's going to act. You've got good news, markets go up. Bad news, markets probably go down, but you kind of very short-lived. Uncertain news, markets tank. People don't like not knowing what's going to happen. They want to have an idea of how the market's going to react. Without any news, the markets are not performing very, very well. So that is the kind of the one of the biggest reasons why the market's not doing well today. On top of that, Japan, which I mentioned to my VIPs earlier. I've been very, very active in my VIP community today, giving a lot of in-depth analysis, a lot of institutional research papers, and equally a lot of market sentiment regarding what's happening right now and ultimately where the markets may go from here, which, to be honest, we're looking a little bit more bearish right now than I had originally perceived. The way it stands right now is also what's happening in Japan is putting the whole financial market on life support. Again, to find out a lot more in a lot more detail, you can find out for 7-day free trial on the VIP, so you go check that out down below. But the long and short of it is investors borrow money from Japan because the interest rates are so low, and they invest that into American markets. Right now, those interest rates in Japan, they're shooting up to record highs that have not been seen before. So therefore, those who borrowed Japanese yen to invest in American markets, now when they have to pay that back, they've got to pay a premium, pay more on that. Point being is that's basically the yen carry trade, what's happening right now. Again, to remind you all watching, if you think back to when Kappa first went through that massive correction from all-time highs, we're talking August 1st, 2024. Back here, this was the start, the proper warning of the yen carry trade, where it got significantly impacted because Japan were hiking rates while America were either holding strong or either dropping them. Actually, at this time, they were holding strong. But either way, Japan were hiking rates. So the interest rates of Japanese bonds started to rally whilst everything else was holding strong or declining, meaning that yen became more expensive, therefore impacting yen carry trade, therefore meaning that it was actually more expensive for you to be doing that with Japanese yen. That's ultimately what happened. And you're seeing that concern happening again. Even the stock market acting very, very volatile today, which is not common. Stocks are normally a lot more secure. Of course, crypto is going parabolic because it's a lot smaller asset class. But that is the kind of the quite quickly rounded up long and short of what's happening right now from my perspective. There's of course a lot more taking place right now as well that I spoke about my VIPs. And equally, I want to talk this post here, and I'll come back full circle to talk about it later on as well. Despite the market sentiment, this here proof that we are going through this true financial shift right now. This is another one of the premium insights that I showed to my VIPs, a document from Sygnum Bank. This was posted 8 days ago, very recent. The Future Finance Report of 2025. There was so much alpha in this document, and I've only posted a little bit here because, again, I'm not going to give too much away. But point being is, as I made this post, while the retail world debates the next pump, the institutions are quietly building the plumbing for tokenizing the world's balance sheet, tokenizing everything, putting everything on blockchain. For the first time in history, 57% of institutional investors have cited portfolio diversifications as the primary driver for digital asset exposure, officially dethroning short-term returns for institutions, which was at 62%, now down to 53%. The long and short of it is, the meme coin pump and dump get rich quick hype cycle is coming to an end. That is effectively what this confirmation is right now. This isn't about chasing the next 10x meme coin. It means crypto has officially graduated to a legitimate long-term asset class. You can see here, post-finance view from the market. Long and short of it, looking ahead, we are going to have most of our active year. We're going to have the most active year yet, with great products and services launching in the coming 12 months. So again, going into 2026, by the end of 2026, this will position ourselves well within this increasingly relevant market. All the signs still support to the case that we're going to get an extended cycle. It may not be in the exact manner that people were anticipating, which was the case of, you see it go up and go up and go up for another full year. Technically speaking, this year has been terrible. You could argue, again, I keep saying this is not the exact case because Bitcoin have been making all-time highs, but you could argue that we've been in a form of bear cycle. At least in regards to altcoins, we have been in a bear cycle. Altcoins have done nothing for a full year now. But going into 2026, you're going to see a lot more adoption coming through. And you're seeing what they are saying right now. They're talking about how they are wanting to hold crypto for the long term. Increasingly so. There's another post from this document that I actually have scheduled to go out later on today. So you'll see it posted on my Twitter page later on. So go follow me on Twitter so you can tune into some of the alpha source I post in there, or the VIP to get access to the full document. But there was one post which spoke about the biggest reason why crypto is not pumping right now. And it's regulatory uncertainty. Regulatory uncertainty is the biggest reason why crypto has not made a significant pump right now, because despite that, we're getting more clarity, institutions are now getting more involved, we haven't had that market clarity, the clarity at the market structure bill come through. You haven't had a lot of the big catalysts come through that gives the banks true understanding, true clarity that they can get into the space and feel safe doing so. This document was probably one of the most impactful we have read as of late, giving us a proper perspective on where the market's going right now and where we're going to be seeing it going through in the future. So again, to access this document and much more premium insights, check out the VIP. Links are down below in the description. But truth be told, right now is a time where I feel like everyone should be really trying to lock in, understand this is a structural acceptance. What's happening in crypto right now, this pullback is going to shake people. Of course it will. It's shaking in this community, shaking me in elements. Today, I'll be honest, it did shake me. That is why I did research. I looked at the market and thought, oh gosh, not again. We're seeing another pullback. We're coming back to that 88K level that I have been highlighting. I drew out the zone a while back. It's a possibility. Again, that 30% correction from all-time high is looking very, very likely. But I'm thinking, not again, why is it happening? Of course, labor reports not coming out. It's not good. Why is it coming down further? What's going to happen next? I do my research to give me the clarity in regards to what's coming through and think, actually, it's just noise. It is just noise. Price volatility and regulatory implications are just surface distractions that dominates the public discourse in what is becoming the foundational layer for future markets. That's paraphrased, but that's exactly what institutions are saying, that price and regulatory implications, while important, of course, you care about them, they are just mainly distractions on what is now infrastructure that's being built and adopted by TradFi companies. Blockchain is going mainstream. Now, we'll come back full circle to that later on, but before we do, and also going to Kaspa sources, let me get into some questions because I'm sure I have missed everything right now. So welcome back, family, once more to the channel, to the live stream. Dimitar first, as always, bro. Welcome back, my man. Future Crypto Elite is here, as always. Unbeatable, as always. Today, I added $1,000 in Kaspa more. Insane stuff, brother. Massive shout out to you. Kaspa right now, yes, down to 4 cents, and we could see it come down a little bit further. That actually is a post we'll get into from Ski Trading that he suggests that we may see the bottom for Kaspa right here and now. If we can only hope. It might be the most bearish thing I said on Kaspa. I think we do come down a little bit further, but I think that will also be short-lived, and I think Kaspa will come back stronger than pretty much everything else when the market's reversed, because fundamentally speaking, Kaspa's been holding stronger, I think, than everything else as well. Sounds ridiculous to say, but I do think that's the case. But yes, you could argue pure market manipulation as well, and I would care to agree in some elements as well, because in 3 days, on the 22nd of November, 91% of all financial institutions and banks and SWIFT are going to be migrated to ERC-2022 to connect and interact and be interoperable with blockchain. So you could argue, in anticipation and preparation for this seismic shift to adopt crypto and blockchain technology happening in 3 days, pretty much all the banks in the world are doing so. They are trying to dump the market to be able to kind of get access to the market for cheaper as well. This is a speculation, of course, but it is not far-fetched in my belief either. One thing I can see for sure is the price, while sucks, it's going to frustrate a lot of people, make people a lot very, very emotional, and we could be going into a bit more of a bearish pullback from here as well, what I said to my VIPs with more detail. But The comeback is equally for me inevitable, and I think 2026 is going to be huge. I think it's going to be huge. And again, I gave all the reasons for why my VIP. And that'll be great for Kaspa as well. If they can release their VBox Dagnite during that period, then I think Kaspa's going to shake this space up significantly with adoption coming through in earnest next year. Once we get clarity coming through regulations, again, you'll see that regulatory post. You'll see this post again pretty much, but this time covering the regulatory segment as opposed to this. You'll see that posted, I believe, a little bit later today. Posting in about 4 hours from now, you'll see that posted. 4 hours, and you're going to see one more document as well from Deloitte coming out about 12 hours from now. So you are going to see some more alpha sources coming out on my Twitter. So at the very least, to access to more insights, you can check out the free Discord server, or equally follow me on Twitter. You'll see some occasional alpha sources coming out there, and then you can level up even more so, interact with me even more so in more depth, and get access to even more documents. I only publish a few of them. I have literally hundreds of interviews and documents in the VIP. You can level up and learn a lot more and increase your conviction, become a better trader in this VIP community as well. So again, links are down below in the description. We also do trades and stuff in there as well. Check that out all down below. Welcome back, LB bro, you're doing very, very well. And you too, Stuntoma bro, and Devious Me, and Greza, and Geek. Welcome back, my mans, my people. Hope you're doing very, very well. Gosu, welcome back, brother. And Brett, good evening, my man. Buenos tardes. No job report, yes, as I saw you guys mention, yeah, there is no job report coming out tomorrow, which is also a big reason as to why the markets are correcting. It does potentially shift towards a more dovish Fed going into December, but short term it's going to be terrible, hence why the markets are doing bad today. Short term it's bad. Going into December, it might be a bit better because the Fed, if they are flying blind, you kind of have to do something, right? Historically speaking, the Fed always act more dovish after a government shutdown because they have a lack of data. And the government shutdown ended recently, and the day after the government shutdown ended, we were meant to see the inflation report, and that didn't come out. And now the job report is meant to be coming out, and that's also been delayed. Now, why? Well, not even delayed, sorry, it's being cancelled. Now, why? You can only guess, you can only speculate. Whether it's because they want to hide the truth, or whether it's because they want to drive the markets, whatever it may be, you can speculate. But either way, it's not coming out now, which means the Fed now have even less data to go off. The only thing we have to go off, actually, if you go on Forex Factory, is the unemployment claims. But it's claims, it's not guaranteed. The claims suggest that previously we had 219,000 in the last report, and the actual right now has increased by about that is 13,000. So it means that the unemployment is starting to rally again, which is not good. That does incentivize a more dovish Fed. But what we were waiting for is what was coming out tomorrow, which is the non-farm payroll. That would have been the actual confirmation in regards to how the job market is looking right now, and that's been cancelled. So we actually are not going to receive that at all, which is not good. Which means the Fed have to again decide how they're going to judge the economy and make their decision in December with little to no data to go off. So they're being pushed between a rock and a hard place right now, and they're going to struggle with that. That might be better for us in the short term, but again, it's not ideal. And again, the Japan as well. This is also putting we went from a stage where there were so many tailwinds and bullish catalysts of crypto, but nothing was really moving besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, to where it's completely 180 now, and there are so much headwinds, so much significant. There's still a lot of good catalysts, right? Again, institutional sources confirm as such as well. You've got the M2 money supply at all-time highs. You've got increasing regulatory frameworks coming through. You've got more adoption coming to crypto with ETF funds. You've got so much that is bullish for this space and financial markets. But the ones that really impact the markets right now is the Fed and their monetary policies, and equally Japan and their monetary policies. Ultimately, it's the macroeconomics that impacts more than the fundamentals right now. And those are putting headwinds down on the market. Fed is hawkish and uncertain. Bank of Japan are, that their economy is spiraling now. It's going crazy. So everything right now is just going crazy. And one big thing as well, going on a bit of a tangent, but I'm sure it's all quite informative for you, that I did mention in my VIPs as well, is NVIDIA. Nvidia's earning reports coming out today, that's also going to be make or break. Again, I made the whole, you can see the whole post. I made a whole post in my VIP talking about the sentiment right now, what's happening, how impactful these catalysts are. Nvidia's report's going to be on the markets as well. And that could honestly send the markets tanking further. If a Nvidia report comes out and it's bad, you could see a tank in crypto. From where it's currently at, you can see it go down a lot further. So for our sake, we probably need to see Nvidia print above expected. The earnings got to go above expected. Otherwise, we could see a big push down from here. We could see a massive flush from here. It's already doing badly today. If Nvidia's report comes back even worse, you could see, I mean, you could argue it's being priced in, but I think you'll see it come down worse. Because I think sentiment already is so bad anyways. It's the worst we have seen this cycle, that I think if we see Nvidia's earning report come back worse, despite it trying to be priced in, it will come down further, I believe. So Nvidia's got to come back good, in my belief. Again, I put a lot more analysis and details down in the VIP, so you can go check that out in the description for 7-day free trial. Check it. You can literally, at the very least, I say, go use the free trial, check out everything I just posted about today and all the stuff previously in regards to Dove documentation, market analysis, trade alerts, all that sort of stuff for the last for a week, even, and go back and then judge from that if you think it's worth a while or not. But there's a lot of uncertainty right now, so what I'm trying to do my best in the live stream, that equally more so my VIP, to provide some clarity so we know what's going on, and therefore we can shift our investment practices accordingly. Of course, though, not financial advice, do your own research. BlackRock just sold the biggest amount of Bitcoin ever. Yeah, again, not too surprising. They got in, though, think about it, they got in 2024 back at 40k Bitcoin. So they've already made, 2-3x whatever on their ETF. They've made a lot of money. So they're now selling a lot of that off. But there's still a lot of long-term holdings that are just holding strong right now. Bull run kicks off mid-2026 and lasts until 2027, 2028. I'm calling it now. That would be insane, baby daddy. No joke. That would be insane. Of course, there's no guarantee of that. But I don't hate the sentiment. I actually would be all here for it. It'd be a very, very nice This year has gone by so slowly, but also so quickly. And it's been a very tough year for everybody, no doubt. That's the fourth turning, though. The fourth turning, what's happening, as Blank highlighted, this is by design, it's what happens. It's going to be tough. Year and a half alt season, that would be nuts. Be fantastic for Kaspa as well, no doubt about it. I'm pretty sure the jobs data will be limited until Powell is out. Maybe. Not a bad shout. You might definitely see either it be limited or even manipulated until Powell's out, because, Powell has just... I don't know whether to say he's done a bad job, because realistically speaking, if I'm in the same position, would I have done better? Having control of the whole US and therefore the whole global economy is no small task. You could argue he could and should have been a lot more dovish, printing more money. You could also argue their concerns about inflation is very, very real. It's, they wanted to get 2%. It's not 2%. If you look at true inflation right now, true inflation is sitting at a lot higher than that, 2.5%, and it's gone up to near 3%. So it's higher than expected. And even then, that's not the metric that the Fed use. They use PCE, core PCE, as their inflation metric, and that's higher. So, I mean, yeah, maybe it'll be limited until Powell's out. We'll have to wait and see. Welcome back, Mr. Miles, you're doing very, very well. And you too, Dub. Appreciate your work, man. Always turning up for the people. You know it, man. I try my best. I know through thick and thin. Been a lot through thick, honestly, for the mid-markets. But I always try to at least provide some oversight on what's happening. Of course, always go away, do your own research and fact-check everything I say, because I'm only human. But I think for the most part, a lot of my analysis has been accurate and supported by sources as well. Welcome back, Lizzie, bro. You're doing very, very well. Bounce, or I'll chop it off. Trying to think if that's what I think it means. I don't think it is. I mean, we might see a bounce. Don't know, though. I think, again, the markets are bad, and me and my VIPs are already fully aware as to why it's bad. And equally, you all are probably now more so aware now why it's bad as well. And it can still get worse today, if not leading into end of it. Now we have no job report, it can get worse the rest of this week as well. We'll have to wait and see, but it can still get a lot more worse today. Welcome back, Andy A, bro. Got 600 more caps today. Love that, brother. Keep stacking, my man. I actually did scoop up a little bit of Kaspa. Not a lot. I think I got another maybe 1k today. It's a very small bag today. I thought might as well. Kaspa's down to 4 cents. Premium opportunity right now. Might as well stack a little bit more. I wish I had some dry powder. Oh yeah. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I meant that feeling a lot, but I've got a bit saved up right now because I was anticipating this pullback. We spoke about it time and time again in here, and even more so in our weekly live tables in the VIP as well. We spoke about this pullback happening. We anticipated this, and it's come to fruition. So, yeah, I think a reversal is still possible, but I don't know if you're going to see necessarily a bull run in the immediate future. Maybe midterm. We'll have to wait and see though. FNC minutes said nothing news. Yeah, no, the FNC minutes is not. It pretty much just gives a recap of what was. That's what I never really understood the hype behind FOMC minutes, because it just pretty much gives a recap of what they discussed on the FOMC meeting. That's all it really is. There was nothing of news in it. It just gives a recap, pretty much all of. That's pretty much what. If you go onto the Fed website, that's what it says it is. It just gives a recap of what was mentioned at the FOMC meeting back in October. So it just basically gave us a bit more understanding and clarity on what the thought process was, but we knew that anyways. It's always really been a nothing burger. But now the understanding that we have is that they are trying to wait for more data before they make a decision on whether they're going to be more dovish or more bearish, dovish or more hawkish, sorry. And they haven't got the data now because the report has been cancelled. So now they are even more screwed, as we all are, even more screwed in that regard. How much outflows for BlackRock? Oh, I haven't checked it myself, but apparently it's 523 million. So that's insane. This has to be maximum fear. I'm a very stoic investor, and even this is pissing me off. Yeah, I don't disagree with it. It's been crazy. That's, again, for me, for someone who constantly preaches don't be emotional, be logical. Even myself today, after the mass amount of fear in this market, even I let a little bit of emotions creep in, and I got a bit frustrated myself. To be fair, I've got some other stuff going on in my life that probably played into that. But that's also why when I got home and I was like, okay, why is it happening? I was like, let me do some research. Let me find out what's going on and the overall sentiment. And that's when I found this document from Signum Bank published 8 days ago, which gave the overarching sentiment on what's happening right now and their stance and institutional stance from now going into 2026. And I put, today's one of the biggest things I actually had regarding the VIP. I put market analysis, so much information in there, and equally about 5 or 6 alpha documentation from Deloitte, Signum Bank, from Serenity regarding the MiCA regulations, equally from Broadridge. Some very, very big documents giving us an insight on what's happening and equally sentiment going forward and what we need to pay attention to, like the regulatory frameworks and like the institutional increasing adoption. So yes, I agree, sentiment is crap, price is crap, but if anything, the FOMO for institutions is actually growing. Despite the sales happening right now, the actual belief in using crypto and digital assets for finance going forward has significantly increased. So, I mean, I guess shameless plug again, but if you want to level up your conviction and understand more so and help become a better trader, being less emotional, more hopefully logical, then you can check out documentation like this in the VIP, wop.com/coin factory. We've got 7-day free trials in there. Equally, we've got a 1-month free trial through BYDFI, our affiliate exchange, a no KYC, no VPN regulated exchange in regions like the United States, in Ethiopia, in Canada, in Australia, and many more. You can find out all of that and more in the Discord server. There are channels in there. You can find out information in there as well, so tune into that as well. Or again, if you want to get some little licks and little snippets, if you follow me on Twitter, you get some posts like this as well coming through. You also see, I'm going to show it on stream right now. It'll be posted live later. You'll see posts like this when it loads. So from Deloitte, where they say it here from Deloitte, you can't even see it actually. But the quote here in that box there from Deloitte says, The financial services landscape has been set amid the backdrop of ongoing uncertainty and global disruptions. For financial services organizations, staying resilient in this environment is even more important than ever. That's Deloitte, one of the top 4 accounting firms. Alongside PwC, KPMG, and Ernst & Young, Deloitte is up there with them, the top 4, but they're known as the big 4. And they're saying these FIs need to remain resilient in this environment. Despite the uncertainty, you've got to stay strong right now. So while, again, retail is panicking about bad price action, institutions are advising their clients to double, triple, and quadruple down on crypto, on digital assets. You'll see this post coming out in about 12 hours from now. Equally, you can get access to the full document in my VIP with more insights and even more. That's just covering one element of that. There's a lot more covered in there as well. And equally, this one here as well. Building up more so from that Signum Bank document again. It's talking about the biggest concern right now, the biggest blockade is regulatory uncertainty still. So again, access to all of that down below in the description through the VIP. Check it all out there. Welcome back, Loud, doing very, very well. 26 better be huge. I hope so, LB. I really do. Check out the 60-minute report on CZ Trump pardon. If you can link it to me on Discord, I'll look through it very briefly. But I kind of got my structure for what I'm already halfway through the stream right now. I've got my structure for what more I want to. I haven't got through any Kaspa news just yet. I want to get through some of that as well. So I might come back at the very end of the stream if you want me to go through that, brother. Welcome back, Don, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. Good to have you back, my man. Praying for a bounce. I mean, hopefully we do. Hopefully we will. I think we will see a bounce. Whether we see a bounce and a euphoric rally from here, it's tough to say. I think we'll see a bounce though. Welcome back, Kryptoni, brother. You're doing very, very well, my man. BlackRock is selling because they bought 100k this year, so they can claim the short-term losses on the taxes. They know what they're doing. Yeah, also very, very true. Right now we're near that tax season. Taxes got to be paid off very, very soon. We're getting near to that tax season, so you're going to start seeing a lot of kind of profits being taken and whatnot, and then you'll see it come back again. So, like Jay said, think logically, not emotionally. 100%. Powell is always late. He was late last Trump term, and that caused the markets to moon. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree that Powell has a history of always being very, very late. But I also don't disagree that the inflation concerns are very, very real. Now, is it being overhyped or over put much interest into it? Maybe, because right now unemployment is rallying. And that means that inflation that the US economy right now is stagnating. And it's also a lack of reserves. Did I make a post on that? I think I might have done. Yeah. The Federal Reserve's repo apparently has dropped below $1 billion for the first time since March 17th, 2021. So despite all the bullish catalysts, M2 money supply nearing all-time high, actually at all-time highs, increasing institutional adoption with crypto and streamlined US regulations, if the Fed does start quantitative easing soon, we're going to have to expect a dry spell for risk on markets for crypto due to a lack of liquidity. Despite the sentiment being very, very good, there is a lack of liquidity in the economy. M2 money supply is a sentiment of the global economy, true, but the US economy, the biggest financial economy, there's not enough money in the reserves for the banks. And they're the ones getting into crypto right now. There's no money in the economy because people are unemployed. So there's nothing that can really pump crypto right now. So the Fed's got to start QE. That's going to be one big. They're going to end QT in the next 2 weeks. That'll be big. That'll help. But need to start printing money and arguably cut more rates for us to see the market continue. Otherwise, you might expect a bit of a dry spell for a few months until we end up seeing Jerome Powell place properly, and then you'll see maybe a surge from there. Some fresh air and exercise, brother. Trust me. Go to the gym, eat good. That'll be the best antidepressant and some food. No, I'm honest. I'm being so for real about that. Actually. Oh my god, price is below my bypass now. Love to hear that. Well, I'd love to hear that if you're DCA more so. Otherwise, then, it is what it is. I've been DCAing the whole time down. My average is still higher than the price right now. It's been high for quite some time now. But I'm getting lower now. I think I'm probably around the 6-cent zone now, finally, which is great. Try to get it lower still. I'm still holding, though. I have de-risked a bit more today. But I have not sold a drop on my Kaspa, and I don't plan to. I'll probably buy some more if we go a little bit lower, once I think we find some from a bottom. Extreme fear usually lasts for about 11 days. I mean, historically speaking, yes, but the sentiment right now is so bad that I think it can extend further. I think it really does depend on the macroeconomic sentiment right now in the Fed and Japan. But yeah, it will pass eventually, no doubt. I reckon also finished. Name one that has achieved anything. I mean, talking about price action wise, XRP finished their lawsuit. And went from 50 cents to, well, even right now it's 4x above that. Not saying I like XRP for that reason. I'm just highlighting that price-wise it did quite well. Hyperliquid, equally. And I know these are all proof of stakes, so don't come, swarming at me for saying this, but this is the truth of the matter. Hyperliquid also has done pretty well from its launch. Or from its relaunch, or whatever it is. Right now, your Zcash is doing absolutely insane. For better or for worse right now. Still rallying. Which is crazy to think. There have been some other assets. Right now, is it Dash? I think Dash is doing quite well. Dash USDT. Dash is actually down 4%, but even Dash has had a bit of a rally, throughout this cycle, passing all-time highs again. So, of course, they're not fantastic, these assets per se, but some altcoins have done very, very well. Whether it's been manipulative by design, who knows, but I think alts are going to have a tough time if you're going to a form of bearish run now. I think it might be the case of like 99% of alts do go to zero, and most of them will be meme coins as well. For me, Kaspa is one of these. Actually, we'll get into the sources right now as well then. So, this first was here from Ski. I'm optimistic about Kaspa here from 4 cents, and this is why. On the first image, you can see Kaspa back testing its March 2023 peak. Right here. On the second image and third image, you can see Bitcoin retesting prior peaks before continuing higher. Bitcoin here, retest the peak, goes a little bit below that, then goes higher. Equally again, 2018, retest the peak and go higher. So, Ski believes that if we zoom out, the Kaspa chart is actually healthier than 90% of other crypto charts. And if we're lucky, Kaspa may find a bottom somewhere around this March 2023 peak. Therefore, we might see that Kaspa finds a bottom around this price target right now. Now, there's no guarantee of that. Don't clam for that, please. We'll probably see it come a little bit lower. I think we could probably go below 4 cents. But if history supports this, and if Kaspa does, follow Bitcoin's price chart, then we could very well see Kaspa make a kind of reversal here and start running against the rest of the market again. It's very, very possible. We also have Bitcoin approaching a higher odds demand zone, apparently. Again, this is all elements of TA, which I do think that TA is useful. I still highlight that time and time again, TA is useful, but it's not the be-all and end-all. I think TA is massively overhyped for how useful it really is. I think fundamentals and understanding macroeconomics is a lot more important to determine market dynamics. Kaspa could find a bottom here. I'd be happy if it does, but it could very much go further if you do see more negative price action or more negative macro sentiment and more hawkish sentiment going forward in the next couple of hours. We are about, 2 hours away from the Nvidia earnings report. That would be very impactful. You could see a big pullback still. If not a reversal, we're going to have to wait and see. But one thing for sure is that Kaspa still is a very, very, very strong project. And again, I would argue is probably one of the strongest in this space. It's not the strongest right now regarding price as well. I know it's been a long pullback, but right now, everything is down pretty much as badly as Kaspa has been. Kaspa has been on a much longer and I'd argue more controlled pullback throughout this time, where everything else has been going through a much more volatile, sharp decline. I mean, look at Ondu. Just from July, down 58%, sharp decline here. Tau, Tau's been actually okay, somewhat close to Kaspa. You could look at your XRPs that equally saw a very, very sharp decline here. That's last year. Actually, the XRP is kind of, that's not XRP, that's not going to, that's a year ago. Yeah, July again, XRP come down 45%. That's the third biggest asset, or fourth behind USDT, the third biggest altcoin, down 50% almost from all-time highs. You got your Sui's that is down crazy amounts. Sui is down from an all-time high, 70%, so 10% less than Kaspa, and from local highs down about 65%. So again, coming down more and more and more. So alts will get obliterated. I don't disagree with that, but I think there will be a fair amount that comes back. Just gonna know where to go to, and I think Kaspa will be one of them. Print this out and frame it. Those of you know Hans, he should be ecstatic to join him. I haven't joined the Kaspa camp, and he made a kind of summary or his from the GitHub here, basically talking about Kaspa. Runtime architecture achieves scalability not by optimizing block level throughput, but by rethinking the role of blocks entirely. Instead of treating state transitions as discrete batches that must be processed sequentially, Kaspa models them as a continuous stream of causally related transactions, with blocks serving only as logical markers that define the boundaries of possible reorgs. Again, very, relatively technical thing here. For me, what I'm going to attribute this to actually is, I'm sure the Kaspa community now knows more and more about is it Scape City, I believe it is. The individual, did I like the post? I wonder if I liked the post. I think I liked the post, so I can find it. Yes, here it is. Cityscape, that was it. Cityscape, James Allen here. He made a video recently about Kaspa Evolved, my thoughts on blockchain. And it basically just goes into the detail about how he started on Bitcoin, then went to Ethereum, then went to Cardano, then went to ICP, and then he went to Kaspa. And every single time he moved, he learned something new and, increase in knowledge in regards to how he thinks about blockchain. And Kaspa for him is so significant in regards to VPROX and the yellow paper that he looked through, that basically kind of goes into what Hans talking about here, about how the idea that how Kaspa rethinks about blocks entirely, things have not got to be, I think it was on-chain, the word he used. ICP, everything's got to be on-chain. Kaspa, you doesn't have it, it's not in the same manner. Point being is Kaspa's architecture actually is just significantly better than ICP. Effectively, James is saying that Kaspa has made ICP irrelevant. Now, we could already argue, and we already knew that, but hearing a Web3 developer who's going through his journey in this blockchain space say that is significant. Saying that Kaspa makes ICP irrelevant, and I'm sure Kaspa makes everything else irrelevant going forward as well. We've got some Kaspa news here. James Lee, the creator of Kaspa Finance, KFC, said that we are proud to announce our gifted ecosystem built by us. They introduced the multi-chain EVM bridge connecting KaspaBridge.com, so IGRA and Casplex to BNB chain with more than with support ready for 30 to 40 more chains coming through, which we spoke about already, quite big news. But they've apparently already done the next step. They've already connected Ethereum plus base testnets have been added now to Kaspa Bridge right now. So it looks like, again, tread your discretion, do your own research. I can't guarantee they're trustworthy or not. I choose to trust them right now, but I've not used anything right now. But Kaspa Bridge right now is seemingly trying to connect to multiple different chains, increase the interoperability between Kaspa and other chains as well. So now Ethereum base can connect through Kaspa Bridge, so that could be quite a big thing. Expanding their EVM bridge coverage over the next few days. They're going to try and do more next, and they're thinking USDT, USDC, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, XRP, all the stuff they want to see. It can be interoperable and connect to Kaspa, which, everyone to like the projects, the first step towards adoption is interoperability. Once Kaspa connects everything else and they use Kaspa, then they realize that it's better than everything else anyways, and then they leave the other project to just stay on Kaspa. That's how it works. You've got to be able to connect first, get the adoption, and then they'll realize and they just leave. That's how it works. That's a very, very big thing for me. And also as a kind of another news as well, we also have recently seen this website come out. I'm not entirely sure who created it, but it's the Kaspa.news website, which is pretty cool here actually. It's just kind of gives a kind of general summary of all the noise and top posts, if you will, from the Kaspa community. Doesn't necessarily mean it's all going to be insightful, informative news. Of course, it's just literally taking the top tweets from Twitter and posting it here. You can see right now, Hans is the top here of 21k, next to Dagnetic. Nicole's up here as well. Oi Newman's up here as well. And then you had me a little while back. I was on there as I posted on my thing here. I was there when I reposted my video on my Twitter page. But you can see again, it's quite a nice website. So if you ever wanted to somehow find the top post regarding Kaspa, you can then see I got that one there as well. You can then see, I think it's the last 24 hours has been set to, and you can just go on Kaspa.news here as well, which is pretty cool. You can see it's also got little subcategories here for like the developers here. So it's got it tagged to everything that Oi Newman puts out, Michael Sutton, Son Polinsky, Coderless Stuff, all the people who are the devs. So you can also therefore filter it to either just the top tweets from content creators like myself, which may or may not be informative or just shit posting, or it could be normally more intellectual conversations on Twitter between the dev teams. You can see stuff focused, so kind of regarding the Kaspa Commons, Kaspa Daily, Kaspa Hub, these kind of platforms that are doing this sort of stuff as well. Latest here, you've got videos, which I haven't even checked. Oh yeah, got mine there as well. So you can add, I didn't even realize about that. That's pretty cool actually. So anything that kind of has anything remotely about Kaspa goes in, of course, it then just depends, because you've got like Crypto Mindset who made a video on some Beck, but added Kaspa, therefore that's why I got tagged in here when it really shouldn't have done. But anything tagged with Kaspa gets in here as well. So that's a really, really cool tool, I agree. And then you've got GitHub here as well. It's a really, really cool tool that's been created here. So honestly, great stuff. And I want to see more of this, because this is just another nice feature, nice tool to have for the Kaspa community, I completely believe. I'm poorer than I started. I got to sell some of my alts. Honestly, Crypto Night, we're all in quite similar boats. I have taken some profit. I've even taken some losses, honestly. I've taken a lot of my holdings out. I'm already out of XRP, out of SUI. I hold some other assets that I got out of as well. Just holding stablecoins right now, waiting to have a more clarity in regards to where we're going, and then I'm going to start DCAing back in. The boy with the biggest IQ says coming biggest bull market, so not to worry. Yeah, I mean, we'll see a big bull market sometime. I'm no doubt about it. Oh right, okay, yeah. So yeah, they said at a loss, therefore they haven't got to pay taxes on that Bitcoin. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, it's how you avoid taxes, right? How it works. Are we rich yet? Far from it. Next level, far from it. But I mean, hopefully we'll see that sentiment change soon enough. UBS is warning of recession. You hear recession warnings all the time, so I wouldn't pay too much mind to them. Not saying it's not true, not saying that at all. By all means, the way it works is you never know you're in a recession until it's confirmed. Until you're confirmed in a recession, it's going to be speculative, but it's not going to be absolute. But recession concerns are always thrown about. Regarding the financial situation right now, we are in a worse predicament now than we were in 2021, around the COVID time. Arguably worse in 2008 as well, financial crisis. Arguably worse than the dot-com bubble. So by all means, the metrics saying we're in a recession right now is probably true. But we haven't had that confirmation just yet, and you hear those warnings all the time. All the time. When that change, will that change? Who knows? We are in that fourth turning though, so it being a recession is not surprising. It's kind of how it's meant to happen by design, a kind of global reset. But we are in max fear, no doubt about it. That's quite evident from the markets right now. Although in saying that, stocks are still holding kind of strong, which is, again, stock market's holding strong. Crypto's bleeding, which is interesting, because crypto's meant to be risk on like stocks, but stocks are holding strong near all-time highs. Again, that can change quickly, especially in a few hours when Nvidia comes out, but crypto's capitulating. So evidently something's happening in this space. It's causing so much volatility when actually overall sentiment for financial markets, while uncertain, it's still actually holding quite strong. I think it's been a bit of both, Trump's done his own element, his own things, which could have been beneficial or bad for the economy, and Powell equally has not reacted to that accordingly. I don't think you can't blame one person for this. I can say with the utmost conviction, whether it had been Biden and Kamala Harris had got into power, you still would have seen a similar situation. Maybe not as, you could argue worse or not as catastrophic. You could argue that. But I think what we're seeing right now is all by design. No matter who is in power, is going completely to P-Tong, right? The UK is terrible right now. It's absolutely dreadful. And we had Tories in beforehand, who were the ones who put us in the situation in the first place. Labour's come involved, and they've not done anything better. We all thought they'd do better. Right now, every single economy is struggling. It's not one person's fault. Everything's struggling. You can't pin it on one person. You can say they're part of the blame, and I won't disagree. I think Trump probably is part of the blame. Same with how Jerome Powell's also part of the blame. I think right now it's a system that's designed to fail. That's how fiat system is designed to fail. What's happening right now is unavoidable. No, Jay, name one alt that is actually used. Oh, right. Okay, I see what you mean. I mean, right now there is not much evidence of many alts being used, but right now crypto is still extremely early. And if you were in my VIP and you saw the other documentation in there, you'd see evidence of how early we still are. They are talking about utilizing Ethereum, talking about utilizing Polygon or elements in Litecoin or elements in Cardano and some elements as well. You are seeing that the documentation are talking about utilizing these cryptos. They haven't got to the use case of using it yet because we're still extremely early. We're still waiting for regulatory clarity being the main part. You're also hearing about the KI apparently using Kaspa, but we haven't seen the evidence of that. It's just their word against ours. Right now, crypto is not being used worldwide, but we're still early. But they are talking about adopting it. You've got Biddle, you've got the V-Bills, you've got so many monetary funds being created in regards to crypto. They are trying to use the technology. We're just early yet. We're at the inception point, the tipping point right now for adoption. We don't know what's going to be adopted right now. We can make a guess. That's all it is, really, a guess. I could argue Kaspa's technology is the superior in the space, therefore it should be adopted. Will it be? We don't know. But right now, I'm still looking for more scalable infrastructure still. I have not seen it just yet. Gosu, apology, brother. It's been a bit of a big day, a hectic day for me in the morning with family stuff once more. But I'm going to be putting it on once the stream's done and listening through to it while I'm doing some more research and more work, really. So I will be looking into it tonight. Don't worry, brother. Thank you very much for the link, though. I do appreciate it. I will look through it tonight. I promise you now. Not yet been Hong, bro. Not yet, unfortunately. Thoughts on Coinbase pre-sale? Yeah, just how markets work. I don't agree with it, but it's how markets work. When Lambo, who knows? I zoomed out, but Trump, you can't attribute it to just one. Don't get me wrong, Trump's meme did crash the markets. Melinda's meme did crash the markets. There have been multiple indicators and multiple catalysts that have caused crashing the markets. They are not solely to blame, though. And I don't care about Trump. I really don't. I don't support nor rally against him. I don't care. I think, frankly, all politicians and all world leaders are all morons. That's what I believe. All of them are morons. All of them don't know what they're doing. That Trump coin did definitely crash the market. That was a big, big problem. Very big. I don't see why that's ever needed for it. It was a big problem. Terrible, terrible thing to do. But that's not the reason the market's crashed. That's not the reason. It's not the only reason. It's been a whole, snowball effect of things that have been taking place. It is amazingly low, no doubt about it. No doubt. He said that he had an epiphany about VPROGs that make ICP completely obsolete. Yeah, that's basically what he said. And yeah, I remember you, be telling me that, James Allen basically reiterated that Kaspa is the end game in regards to crypto infrastructure right now. And yeah, that's also, crypto arguing as to why the other project has failed to be adopted, because they are just the same thing as fiat. They're just not really, they're just faster fiat, but they're the same thing with a different mask. Well, you all understand, right, that most retail's still not here. The ordinary apes just follow where they're told. Most people in the world are sheeps, right? We are here before institutions. We are earlier than institutions. They're now trying to take over the market and causing a lot of pain for us. Once institutions greenlight crypto officially and they say, oh, we're now crashing the financial market, we got to, your safe haven is CBDCs. It's going to happen. It sucks, but they're going to say that your safe haven from cyber attacks, all this stuff, is to use blockchain, is to use CBDCs. Those who you'll be forced to go over, they'll be forced to use it. They won't even understand it. They won't have to. The way that crypto is going to be adopted by the big corporations is going to be a case where the same way how you have Apple Pay, you tap your card right now, that's how it's going to be, except it's going to be on a blockchain as opposed to the financial system we have right now, Swift. You won't even realize it if you're uneducated. We obviously do understand it. So the ordinary apes won't adopt it. They won't adopt this crypto. They'll just keep going the way about their life while TradFi adopts it and utilizes it. That's how it's going to work. In regards to adopt Kaspa, the same premise. In regards to if Kaspa offers some truly innovative technology, which according to all these, minds that we've listened to, from Tom Polinsky to Michael Sutton to people like Wolfie, who's not so much techie, but someone who has a big belief in Kaspa, to Paul Van Sun, the leader of DRI Data Energy and KRI, and all these other international leaders, and Nick Szabo, the creator of smart contracts, the creator of Zcash, they're all talking about how block DAG architecture Kaspa is really innovative, and DAGNight is going to change the space. It's going to be the most innovative, unique creation, most impactful creation on the financial market since Bitcoin's inception. Bitcoin's where it's at because it's unique and it's innovative. The start of a revolution. Kaspa is going to be the next significant thing to come from that, which means that should institutions realize that and they want to use something that's truly decentralized and give them true self-sovereignty while being scalable and secure, therefore not controlled by an entity like XRP would be, like Sui would be, like Ethereum would be, and being again better, they would adopt Kaspa. That's the understanding. Now, when that's going to happen, we don't know. But you've seen the KRI already talking about utilizing Kaspa. They've got projects in the work for it. So KRI in itself is already an element of institutional adoption that will result in increased demand, and therefore apes will start going into it anyways. Tier 1s will come as well. That'll be late though. There is a massive lack of utility in crypto. I agree with that, because a lot of them are just masks. But again, you have got some unique use cases or some unique examples, which I would argue is like Kaspa. I'm not worried about the recession. I mentioned that to support the next leg up. Did I not read your entire comment? Where is it? Chatting to ChatGPT says that there's plus max fear and when accumulation into perfect self. Oh, okay. Apologies. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And I mean, yeah, there is definitely an element of that. I think we're going to see, again, I think a reversal is coming. Exactly when, I don't know. I think you could honestly see a few more weeks, if not maybe even to the end of the year, just a bit of negative price action. You might see a bit of what you'd be called like a dead cat bounce coming through soon, but exactly when, it's anybody's guess right now. I think we could still see more lower prices coming through in the immediate short term as well. It doesn't mean it's going to be adopted immediately though. I also agree. I agree he will as well. I agree Trump will. But it doesn't mean it's Trump's part of the problem, but he's not the problem. He's part of the problem, but he's not the problem. There's so many factors playing a part into what's happening right now, even before Trump. Oi Newman, yeah. Oi Newman, absolute GOAT. Very intellectual individual from what I have perceived, from what I have read through. I don't cover him too often. We seem to have quite a good set of shoulders on him. He's also the man who made the post recently about where is it? Here. Discussing some community topics on Casio. It looks like they're actually trying to talk about Casio right now. They're actually talking about stuff on Casio. It's really, really cool right now. Casio actually being utilized and adopted. And the best thing about it, from what I saw from Kaspa Silver, is the likes of Cassia and also K, which is the Kaspa Twitter account thing. Both of those two, because they're not on AWS or on Cloudflare, which went down yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Those two stayed active the whole time. Decentralized as well. So this is also really cool. Of course, no adoption really, but something that, again, has a lot of promise. CBDCs will wake up apes to Kaspa, maybe. Maybe. But you've got to understand, with respect to people, with massive respect to a lot of people, those in this chat right now, you are very educated, and I have respect for you. 99% of people are just stupid. I don't mean that to be vindictive or rude, but they're just stupid. They don't know things because they don't care to know them. And that's fine. They remain ignorant. Their stupidity is their ignorance. Sometimes that's a blessing, right? Point being is, when this financial system collapse, which it will, it's inevitable, this kind of inevitable decline of fiat, when it collapses, the solution that the smart money will provide is CBDCs. You cannot insist on change unless there's a crisis. And it's not the exact same. There's a saying that basically says change cannot ever happen unless there's a crisis. People will not accept change Significant change unless there is a crisis. That's what's happening. So when that crisis comes through, they're going to offer the solution being CBDCs. Crypto's got still a lot of negative rep around it. It's going to be the so-called saving grace once the collapse comes through. So CBDCs might wake a lot of people up to the centralized nature of, smart money, and therefore might come to Kaspa therefore. But it might not be the same case at the same. We don't know. You'll probably see a lot of people start to take that mentality, but there'll still be a massive amount of people who just won't care. Like, for example, in the UK, you've got this whole digital ID thing that's going about. There's a recent going about how Twitch now are going to be enforcing people to scan their face to watch Twitch streamers. That's ridiculous. It's very prevalent in the UK right now. I have or have not signed up to it, or may or may not use VPN. But a lot of people right now have to sign up to it. They don't care. They'll do it, which I think is ridiculous. I may think it's ridiculous. Don't come after me, UK government, please. Jesus would buy Kaspa? Maybe he would. You missed my message, did I? Which one? It might have not gone through Dimitar. I saw that one. I didn't see anyone before that. Bitcoin failed as much as money, and its use case is still worth as much as it is because it is mathematically secured, hard store of value. You just prove Kaspa's use case in your argument. Yeah, very true. What now? Kaspa falling down the rankings. Crypto is falling down the rankings, Lieutenant. It's crypto. Crypto is collapsing. Look at Kaspa. I mean, again, I pay such little mind to CoinMarketCap. I'll be so for real. Like, it's a market. Obviously, people tend to use it a lot, but Kaspa's right now down to 62. It's coming down significantly. Yes, it's doing terribly, right? But look at the market. If you look at the trading view, which I wouldn't even argue, trading view is a much more accurate 24-hour analysis of the markets right now. If you look at CoinMarketCap, it says Kaspa right now is up in the last 24 hours is down 7.54%. Right? On TradingView, it's down 5.56. TradingView, it takes the collective, but this is from, this is just Kaspa actually. Yeah, so this is Cash USD, so it's just taking the collective sum of Kaspa from all the exchanges. TradingView is better. And you look at TradingView right now, Kaspa's down 6%, Sui's down 8%, XRP's down 8%, Ethereum's down 7%, so Kaspa's not the worst performing today. It's going down the rankings, fine, but it's not a testament to Kaspa being bad. Testament to crypto is doing poorly today, and Kaspa is equally feeling the burn. That's all it is. It's not a Kaspa bad thing. There's nothing bad about Kaspa in regard to price falling down. Again, to come back full circle now to this documentation that I posted on Twitter. Again, another one of my premium insights from Signum Bank Future Finance Report 2025. You can see here, 57% of respondents name portfolio diversification as their main reason to invest. Point being is, for the first time ever in history, 57% of institutional investors cite portfolio diversification as the primary driver for digital asset exposure, officially dethroning short-term returns, now at 53%. We can see right here. Long and short of it is, this isn't about chasing the next 10x meme coin, finding the next pump. While the retail world debates the next pump, what's going to pump next, institutions are quietly building the plumbing for tokenizing the world's balance sheet. They're talking about crypto as a legitimate long-term asset class. Do you think they care a damn about Kaspa going down in value? Or I guess Kaspa's not on their radar right now, but more so about Ethereum or Bitcoin or Solana or XRP. Do they care it's going down in value? No, they don't care at all. We care because we're emotional. We care. They don't care at all. They don't give a damn. They'll send the price down, they'll buy the dips, and they'll send it back up again. That's what they do. Don't be emotional. Be logical. Understand what's taking place right now. Looking ahead, we are going to have the most active year yet, with great products and services launching in the coming 12 months. That means end of 2026, you're going to see a lot more launching out going into the end of 2026. This will position ourselves well in the increasingly relevant market. Crypto is becoming more and more relevant. Crypto is not going to fall off a cliff. Not going to go to zero. There will be some that go to zero, no doubt, but it won't. As a financial asset class, go to zero. Crypto is getting more recognition. It's becoming a niche to a recognized asset class. That's all it is. Mika's not fantastic, and it is too restrictive. I agree, but its regulatory framework nonetheless that does give us some clarity, but it does need some reworking. Hopefully, the United States will lead with the Clarity Act and give a template for how the world should be regulating crypto. Most of these crypto banks, technical ignorance of retailers. Yeah, these institutions, they don't care. There's literally there's another post from Signum Bank which says, which I posted actually, or reposted somewhat recently. When I posted my video, was it this video? I posted something, we posted something recently. Yeah, here. Signum Bank again. The pace of innovation and the ever-evolving market dynamics means that even experienced investors and crypto enthusiasts need to stay closely engaged. Price volatility and regulatory implications dominate the public discourse. That's what we care about, but the institutions know these are only surface distractions in what's becoming the foundational layer for the next generation of financial market infrastructure and innovative technology. Those that offer use case will come back and explode. Buzzword there, but explode in adoption and therefore price. Do your own research. Don't be emotional logical. Come learn more on the VIP. You can get access to all the documentation and so much more in there as well, and level up your understanding in the space. Become a more complete investor as well. Become the best version of you as well in there. All links down below in the description. We have a 7-day free trial. Check it out down below as well, or 1 month free trial for BYDFI again. All the links in the free Discord server, all down below in the description. Check it all out there. And increase your conviction in understanding what's coming to the space and ultimately how we can best prepare. That what me and my VIP right now, we are very well prepared for what's coming through and how we are positioning ourselves because we know, or we have a better idea, or I guess more clarity on how the markets are currently acting and where we can see it go from here. I give as much as I'm willing to give out in these live streams, but some of that I do withhold to my VIPs because the ones who are paying customers who want to know more. And all of that is coincide with institutional sentiment as well and other documentation that also helps support the belief and theories. Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to be taken off the map very soon. Watch. We're thinking it would be a sign if Kaspa was held at 4 cents or Bitcoin goes down. Would have been confirmed that Kaspa has its own cycle, but man, not pumping with Bitcoin. I mean, there's a belief from Ski that it could maybe hold 4 cents. We don't know if it will do. I still think Kaspa can go down further from here. I think crypto will go down further from here, honestly. We are down 30%, which is quite nice, but we could definitely see more downtrends. I think we see more headwinds. I do. I think it's very, very possible. And then we might see a reversal and a dead cat bounce and going back up again, but I don't know if we see Bitcoin necessarily surpass 116K in the immediate future. Maybe in the medium term, going into 2026, maybe around here, but in this, we've got, do I see Bitcoin going from down here to up here before 2026 and going above here? I don't think so. Again, I could be wrong, not a financial advisor, but I don't think we'll see Bitcoin do that much volatility unless we get rate cuts and QE confirmed in December and the Bank of Japan sort out their monetary situation as well. We won't see that volatility in Bitcoin in such a short time, I don't think. You might see Bitcoin hold low, make some trades or something around here, go into 2026. You might see it come back down again, stay low, might even go a little bit lower, down to 74K, which would be down 40% from all-time highs. And then you might see it make that recovery going into Trump's midterms and going into Jerome Powell's replacement. You might see then the euphoria come back again. We'll have to wait and see. Again, I kind of give a bit of a market rundown on what I currently believe. If you are willing to take that risk in regards to what I think is going to happen, then you go for it. But I'm not a financial advisor. I think crypto comes back. Documentation proves it comes back. When, we just don't know. This is going to be a big market, so I still think it's the case. Yeah, could be very, very possible. It would be quite a nice, if that was the case, that'd be quite good. We've got 6 months to accumulate and become, Kaspa whales, if you will, or even Kaspa sharks, get your next big bag if you want to, in preparation for what's going to come through. And yeah, seems it's also owned by Binance, so they also manipulate what the price looks like as well. TradingView, if you want to analyze market charts, use TradingView. It's the fairest market analyzing. All traders use TradingView. All investors use TradingView because they know it's the best tool to use. It's the best way to get accurate update analysis on the market charts. Don't use CoinMarketCap. The rankings, they're not incorrect. Kaspa down 62, yeah, it sucks. It's not great. Losing out to the likes of VeChain and Arbitrium and Algorand and Trump Coin, it shouldn't be below these. It's going down more and more, and it does suck. I won't disagree with that, but you can see again the price is not completely accurate. Kaspa's down 7%. On TradingView, it's down 5.18. It's not the same. Will Kaspa come back? In my belief, it will do. Time will tell though. If you hold long enough, it doesn't matter when you buy. Also very true. If you're holding for the extreme long term as a retirement sort of fund, then yes, whenever you buy doesn't matter at all. Trying to make quick gains, then have fun with that. That being said, family, that does conclude today's Kaspa Crypto live stream. Hopefully you enjoyed today's content, all the other documentation, the market analysis, what's currently happening, the recent Kaspa sources, and the works. Speaking like that, God once again, you know me. That being said, if you enjoyed, leave a like, share your friends, subscribe for more, learn a lot more information, check out the free community, equally check out my Twitter account to get access to other posts that I make, equally some VIP documentation like this as well. Tune into the VIP. Also link down below in the description to be even more locked in. I am. Don't worry. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, good night. Don't be emotional, be logical. If you want to reach out to me and ask any questions, reach out to me on Twitter or equally better still on Discord. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night. I'll see you all tomorrow. See you on the next one. Take care now.